guys, it's Thursday, March 9th, and back on the trail. Spent the night down in Blairsville, recovered my legs. They were pretty tore up. I've got about almost full mobility back. Did a lot of soaking and stretching and trying to massage them out. I was really upset 2 nights ago. They were so sore, just in acute pain. I couldn't even move them. I was basically walking like a zombie. But I made a lot of mistakes the first couple days. One was going too far, too fast, and I didn't have my trekking poles, which I've got some now. I picked some up at the outfitter at Mountain Crossing, and which I just left. I left the motel. I got up at 6, got them coffee and a sandwich across the street at Nate's. Nice little diner. I think the motel was called Sunshine Inn. A couple owns it. Really nice people. Pretty good rate. It's like $60. And I got a hitched a ride. I didn't have my thumb out. Not even 4 minutes. Nice lady named Angela with a car full of kids picked me up, dropped them back off at school, went to McDonald's, got herself a cup of coffee, and then drove me back up to Mountain Crossing, which is about 13 miles up 19. So didn't have to pay for a shuttle. That saved me $20. Met a guy yesterday, Anthony. He was staying at the motel too. He was getting a shuttle this morning, but he wasn't leaving until 10. I didn't want to wait that long. The only reason I'm this late is my ride to pick me up. That McDonald's line was really long. The line to drop off her kids was really long. She's a single mother of 10. Couldn't tell that she had a really small frame, but she was super nice. Was in a bad wreck, motorcycle wreck, and is medically disabled now. But appreciate that ride, and put me back on the trail. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I got almost all the mobility back in my legs. I'm taking a nice easy pace. Plan is to do about 8 miles today to Whitley Gap, if my legs hold out. One of the lessons I learned is I've got to eat something, protein, in the evening. Couldn't really eat much first couple days. Just wasn't hungry other than snack bars. But I need to eat some kind of protein at night when I get off the trail in camp, and stretch out in the morning. My new routine. Okay guys, we'll see you down the trail. Hey guys, it's about 10 o'clock Thursday on March 9th still. I just wanted to show you this spot here. If you're ever in Mountain Crossing area, Blairsville, it's just a few mile hike up from the crossing. You got this campsite here. It's just fantastic. And I can't see it now, but there's look like a spring, mountain spring, right just beyond this draw here. But and look at that view there. It's so beautiful here. You got a little grassy spot for your tents. You got views on both sides. Just a really nice day, and I'm enjoying it. I needed a good day. My spirits are good, and we're moving on. This is Cow Rock Mountain. Really great views. Took a little siesta here, as is everybody else coming through. Took my shoes off and aired out my socks. Took a layer off. I think we're about 3,800 feet here. Just a gorgeous day. Blue Ridge Mountains. Still on Cow Rock here. Just went over to the other side. Little campfire there. Just absolutely gorgeous day. Probably about 55 degrees, sunny, no wind. Birds are singing. The last little video was Wolf Laurel. I didn't say anything, just so you can hear how quiet it is out here. And that's where I was just videoing a minute ago. Beautiful. It's about 1 o'clock on Thursday. Just wanted to show you guys what a trail angel looks like. This guy right here in the green shirt got set up with sandwiches, and apples, and snacks, drinks. And you'll run into these guys at gaps and crossings, trail crossings. And they just come out and feed the hikers. They don't ask for nothing, and they just like helping hikers out. Most of them are through hikers or past through hikers. So you can see everybody takes advantage of trail angels. And when you see food and drinks just laying on the side of the road, it's called trail magic. Well, good morning. It's Friday, March 10th. It's about, actually, it's a little after 6:30. I've been up since about 4 something. Had a thunderstorm last night. Soaked everything. Everything's still muddy and wet and heavy. Used my camp towel to try to dry off and wipe off just some of the mud. It was kind of pointless. So at some point I'll just have to take a half a day when it's warm and breezy and pull everything out, kind of wash it and dry it. I don't even know if you can see me. It's not really daylight yet. Everybody else is, oh excuse me, I camped at Low Gap last night, which is, there's a shelter there and a water source, which we hadn't had a water source in about over 6 miles. So the last one was dried up, one about 5 miles back. So there was about 20 people camped there at Low Gap, and they were all still there when I left. I went to bed around 8. I just can't lay in that tent for more than 8 hours. It's just, once I'm up, it's not really comfortable. So the rain stopped. I jumped up about 4:30, peed, and started packing everything up. It took me a while to pack everything up, but nobody else is even moving. I saw one guy in a tent hammock. He was up, but everybody else was lights out. I'm trying to do about 13 today. The reason is the road that goes to Hiawassee is 26 miles from here. So if I do 13 a day, that'll put me on the road to Hiawassee in 2 days. I'm back. Had to stop filming for a second. Came across 3 tents right on the trail. And that's where my water source was. A little stream that goes, which is nice. Usually have to walk a ways down to get water. This little stream coming off the side of the hill was right on the trail. It was just a trickle. It took a while to fill up. You gotta have a little dipping cup. Pretty much a must out here for a lot of the water sources. It's just take a plastic water bottle, cut the bottom off it, and use that to dip in a little pool, or if there's a little drip coming off the rock, that way you can't get your bottle in there, you can use that little dipping cup. But like I was saying, I've got about 13 miles to go. There's a shelter about, I want to say 9 miles up, and there's supposed to be water there. So I'm gonna have to conserve water today. I think there's another one before that. I gotta check the guide, but it's not right on the trail. It's a hike off the trail. Anyway, heading toward Unicoi Gap today. Got to go over Blue Mountain, which looks like there's a really steep climb, probably 1,000 footer up to Blue Mountain, and then back down. But I think that's further down the trail. I think it's going to be just little ups and downs for a while. Alright, check in later. Well, we're about 2 miles down the trail. I'm guessing it's really hard to guess how far you've gone, especially when it's up and down. I'm guessing 2 miles. It's really windy. Trail's muddy, but at least on the windy side, the trail is drier, I guess because the wind's drying it. Still foggy and overcast, I guess. But still making some ground, just fighting the elements a little bit. The trail is dry on this side. On the lee side, it's really muddy. Actually, just on the other side of this hill, where there was no wind. Moving on. I don't know if that last video took, I'm gonna do it again. It's really windy on this side of the mountain. The other side, it wasn't windy. The lee side, obviously protected from the mountain, but the trail is really muddy. Luckily, it's been fairly easy going, other than just muddy. The other side, we just came across over that mountain there. Came over on the windy side. And I think I've gone about 2 miles or so. This morning it's really hard to gauge because of the ups and downs. You think you've gone a lot farther than you really have. Making decent time considering the elements. Okay, it's still Friday, the 9th. It's about 12:30. I stopped here at the Blue Mountain Shelter. I was starving. Got something to eat. I actually used my stove for the first time. Cooked some rice. I also had some coffee and some oatmeal. So it's gotten really cold, still really windy. The wind's gusting about 30 knots, and I don't know, it's probably in the 40s. It's pretty chilly. Once you get hiking though, you get warmed up fast. But sitting around, it's pretty cold. Put my fleece on, which it'll be coming off pretty soon. Here's Blue Mountain, there's the shelter, right through there. There were still guys packing up when I got here, and matter of fact, about 5 of them just left. So they're only doing like 8 miles today total. I'm trying to do 13. Trying to get to the cheese factory, which apparently there's nothing there. I guess supposedly it was a building there at one time, but now it's just a campsite. But that's my 13-mile mark. I want to make that so I have 13 left tomorrow to get to Dix Creek, which I can get a ride into Hiawassee. I actually can get a shuttle. They got motels there. They also got you know, all kinds of places to stay. And there's supposed to be a snowstorm Saturday evening, which if I make the 26 miles the next 2 days, that'll be put me there at Dix Creek, Dix Creek at Saturday evening. And they're calling for about 4 or 5 inches of snow, and down in the 30s, but it's not going to be cold enough to stick. Apparently, the weather's saying it won't stay, but they're going to get a large snowfall. Nice, the sun finally came out. It's been foggy and really windy all morning. At least it hasn't rained, except for just a few minutes earlier. So we're on our way to Trey Gap next. I think Unicole first, and then Trey, and then try to make cheese factory tonight. All right. We'll see you later. Hey guys, it's Friday still, 9th March. Just came through Unicoi. There was a trail angel there, but with hamburgers and cokes and stuff, but I missed them by 30 minutes or so. But I ate up on Blue Mountain Shelter, so I wasn't really hungry anyway, but burger kind of sounds good. And a Coke too. But just came up, we're about 4,250 feet right now. Just came up, I'm not even sure which one this is, just after Unicoi. It's pretty out today. Still cold, but hiking sure warms you up. I think I came up just about 1,000 foot last half hour, and boy, I started sweating good. That's why I just keep moving. The only time I need to put a jacket on is when I stop. Try to keep warm as I can, because it's hard on the legs when you let them get cold and you try to start again. So I keep stretching them, I keep moving them, even when I'm stopped and resting, just to keep the legs warm. And that's helped a lot. But I got about 3.7 left for today. That was from Unicoi to get the cheese factory campsite, which is my goal. May go farther if I get there quicker, and I think I'm going to, but I doubt it. Probably won't be there much before 5, if at all. And I want to pull my tent out and try to hang it up in a breezy area. Maybe even some sun and breeze would be perfect. Try to dry that thing out, get the mud out of it. It's getting pretty swampy. Alright, gotta go down here. Check with you later. Good morning. It's Saturday, March 11th. It's about, actually, 8:30. Got up about 6:30. Camped at T's factory right down there. There's still one guy packing up. I don't know if you can see it. But we're about 3,700 feet. Got about 13 miles to go to Dix Creek. That's my goal anyway. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. The right knee felt fine when I got to camp last night, but in the tent last night it was starting to bother me. It was really cold last night. I think it was, well, my watch thermometer said it was 27. I guess I could be correct. Forecast for this area was 31, but I don't know if they take into account the elevation we're at. Plus, we weren't really on a protected spot. They always put the camp spots where there's a view, which makes sense, but then you're exposed to the wind. Winds died down a lot, but it was gusting about 20, 25 maybe, till about midnight, I think. Finally settled down. Slept pretty good. It was warm. I made sure I dry myself off from sweat before I get in my sleeping bag. I got a 20-degree North Face, which I'm comfortable down to about 30 in that bag. Feet get a little cold at night, but nothing to keep me awake. It's very comfortable. I'm a side sleeper, so the big thing is you don't have a lot of mobility in a mummy bag to spread out, so you got to get used to sleeping in a somewhat confined space. Coming up to about 4,000 again today, I think. We were up to 4,200 yesterday. But it's going to be a long day today because I got started earlier yesterday and I made good time and got here around 5. So it takes me about 9 hours to do 13, seems like. And the trails were a little slick yesterday in some spots, but most of it wasn't too bad. I don't remember. Today, I think it's fairly flat. I think there's one big climb and one big descent. Other than that, it's kind of up, down, up, down, up, down. So, we'll see. Just move on. Go at a pace that I can keep my joints, my feet comfortable at, and see where I'm at. Okay, see ya. Well, it's still Saturday. We're about 4,560 feet up. Amazing view here. It's cool. Very clear today. This is the trail from the south going north here. I'm not sure the name of this mountain, but it is the highest I've been so far. It looks like the lake. That's probably Hiawassee down there. I heard it's on a big lake, Cavita or something. Well, it's still Saturday. It's about 10:35. I think I've done about almost 6 miles. Right at about 6 miles since 8:30. So pretty good time. Couple good hills, but trail's pretty good. I just stopped, took a water break, and man, it is cold out here. Of course, I'm sweating, so I can't stop long. Just get really cold really fast. Can't wear a coat or I'd just be way too hot, sweating even more. So I just got to keep moving. Got about 6.8 to Dick's Gap. I think coming down to Sassafras Gap now. There's a shelter there. Probably gonna have to stop and get water. I'm almost out of water. May even make some coffee. Take a little break. Warm up a little bit. So it'll make a good time. As long as I don't dilly-dally too much at the shelter. I should be at Dick's by 4 or so. I don't think it's going to take me till 5. I've already gone halfway, almost halfway, in just a little over 2 hours. Well, that don't sound right. Maybe 3 hours. Lose track of time. Hey guys, it's Saturday, the 11th still. Got 2 more miles to Dick's Creek. So we've done 11.1 so far today. I stopped there past Powell Mountain. There's a spring. I was completely out of water. Got 1.5 liters and made a couple cups of coffee. Ate some peanut butter. And well, the coffee was good. It's pretty cold today. It's 2 o'clock now. It's all downhill from here. There's a really big climb back 4 miles back. I think it was up to Powell. Went all the way up to over 4,200. But pretty much downhill from here. Just kind of little ups and downs, but primarily downhill. So, feeling pretty good. Feet are doing fine, legs are fine. Staying cool. Got water now. Thinking I might be able to make Dick's Creek by 3, if not 3:30. Probably at the latest. I couldn't get a hold of the budget in. I tried calling them 3 times. Twice yesterday, once this morning. Kept getting no answer or a machine. So I need to resupply and clean up, do a little laundry. The hostel was full. I called them last night right after Anthony did, and he got the last room, or the last bunk, which, top of the Georgia, sounds like a really nice hostel, right off the trail. But everybody's running for cover tonight. It's supposed to be snow tonight. Not as much forecasted as it was. I think it's down to like an inch. It was 4 inches yesterday. But it's actually that nasty mix of rain and snow. It's either it just have snow. But we're going to be in that mess for about 4 days from what it looks like from the forecast, all the way through Tuesday. Supposed to be rain, snow mix, just cold temps. We actually got down to 19 at Cheese Factory last night. When I woke up, looked at my watch, it said 27, but the watch was against my skin, so it doesn't read properly unless I take it off. And I ran into Tim a little while ago at the spring, who's now going by Turtle. He put his watch outside, and it was 19. Another guy verified it this morning. So that's good, because I was comfy in my 20-degree North Face without the liner. And I did have socks on, but I slept with no shirt, because even though I hung my shirt when I got to camp, it just never dried. It was windy enough to dry the tent off. I hung the tent and the tarp. Luckily got the muddy water off the tent. So that was one nice thing, waking up to a dry tent this morning. We can feel the weight difference. Now, from here on out, the tent's wet. I may just not be in a hurry. If it's going to be windy or partly sunny, hang the tent after I break it down before I pack it away. Once I get up at like 4:30 a lot of times and just want to get going. But sometimes just got to be smarter and be more patient. It's all a learning curve. Never done anything like this more than a week. So, and I haven't done it in a long time. So, like I said, I was happy about staying warm. That was a very big concern of mine. Being in Florida for the last 30 years, I didn't want to be cold. So, thank goodness I was able to sleep. Woke up a bunch of times, but went right back to sleep, which is fine. Just wake up because I have a little bit of a claustrophobia issue, and being in that mummy bag, I think is probably what it is. But I'm actually getting more comfortable in there. I can actually put both arms in there without freaking out. Which last night I'd stick one arm out, and it would get freezing cold. Well, now I know why. I didn't realize it got down to 19. So I'd stick it in, put the other arm out, and but I was actually able to put both arms in for a little while last night without feeling too much discomfort from claustrophobia. So that's good. Things are kind of figuring themselves out. Extremely happy with the legs and feet. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're taking a beating. I mean, the human body is an amazing thing. The ankles and joints to be able to take this kind of downhills as fast as we take them and not just fall apart. Really, it's an amazing thing. I ain't no spring chicken like a bunch of these kids up here are in their 20s. I think there was a kid last night, he was 18. I didn't get to talk to him, but somebody said he was like 18. And them kids run up these hills. I'm like a mule. I go right up them, but it's kind of like when you're on the Harley and you're passing them semi-trucks going up them steep grades up in the hills and mountains. The kids pass me like I'm standing still, but I don't stop. I just keep on trucking. So, alright, we'll probably check in a little bit later. Yeah. Hey guys, it's Saturday, probably about 5:30 or 6 in the evening. I checked into a motel in Hiawassee, Georgia. There was no hostel space, I guess because the snow and sleet coming tonight. Everybody's trying to take cover. I had to get resupplied. This is all the food I had left, which was some tortillas and a couple things of rice and potatoes. I had to resupply food. So I just wanted to show you what a hiker, either a hostel or a motel room looks like. You've got laundry everywhere. I've actually been here for a couple hours and got lucky enough. I got right to the laundry. There was only one machine, and there was 30 people trying to do laundry. I just timed it really well. I only had to wait about 30 minutes for a washing machine, and then a friend of mine I met on the trail, Chad, me and him threw our stuff in together on the dryer. These socks didn't get really that dry, but that's okay. Hang them out, put them on the air machine here, get them dry. Got my stuff plugged in, my battery packs, and going to get dressed, and my next chore is to go walk to the nearest store, which is really not that far. There's a Save-A-Lot and a dollar store, and pick up my food for the next week. What it's looking like outside right now. It's actually starting to snow up on Dix Creek, and where I came off the trail. I got lucky, and I was able to, I'm not wearing any shirts, was able to hook up with Chili Mac, young kid. I passed him coming down the trail with about a half mile left to Dix, and I came right out on the road, and in the parking lot there's a couple there, and they asked me, they're like, did you see a younger fella back on the trail? And I said, yeah, I just passed a guy. He's tall, athletic build, and he's got like a top knot. And he's like, is it Matt? I was like, well, I don't know his name. I said, we call him Chili Mac on the trail. And so I was talking to them, and they were his aunt and uncle, and they were picking him up and taking him to their house in Roswell, which is a couple hours. And I said, by chance, are you going through Hiawassee? Because I'm staying there for the night. And they're like, yeah. I said, can I get a ride? So I got a ride right away. So I've been really lucky. Haven't had to pay for a shuttle. And Chili Mac came out about 10 minutes later. He was limping when I passed him. So I think he's having some feet trouble. But I think he's going to hole up for a day and rest up or two. But got lucky. So now I'm going to resupply and stay dry tonight, head back up on the trail tomorrow. All right, see you guys. Good morning. It's Sunday, March 12th, here at Dix Creek Gap, 76. As you can see, it snowed last night. It's not really that cold right now. The snow It's trying to melt. I think it's like 30 something. But there's a shelter about 4.5 miles up a trail. I'm gonna see if we can, or I can make that. I don't know why I keep saying we. I guess I'm including you guys. But see if I can make that shelter. The North Carolina border is only about 10 miles up the trail. So that shelter's full. I got a late start. The time change happened last night. It's about 11. We're about 3,100 feet. So I'll check in with you guys a little bit. Funny thing about hiking when it's snow is I'm having to duck. All the limbs are hanging way low on the trail because they're laden with snow. I'm having to hike ducked over. I get a face full of snow every branch I go through. The things you don't, I guess, expect when you don't live in snow or haven't seen snow in who knows how long, 20 years. Kind of funny though, which don't really bother me, other than it's just getting me wet. And wet's not good when it's cold out. But just thought I'd share that little funny with you guys. Didn't expect that, ducking and trying to hike. Good morning again, still Sunday. Just decided to give you a little bit more shot of the scenery here. It's beautiful, no doubt about that. So I won't laugh anymore when people say I miss the snow. The snow is beautiful. I guess it's been so long since I've been in it, I forgot. It really is pretty. It's very, very damp out. Very wet feeling. I don't think, well, it wasn't supposed to stick, but it don't look like it's going anywhere. And they're forecasting more every night for the next few nights and days off and on. Don't remember exact forecast, but basically rain or snow or sleet the next 2 or 3 days at least. So that trail's not too slick. I mean, the downhills are a little fun. Slipped already once, and I'm taking about a half a pace than my normal. So the pace is definitely affected, as one would expect. I think I'm not even a mile in yet from Dix Creek, and right now the plan, like I said earlier, was a shelter 4.5 miles up, but the North Carolina state line is only about 10 miles from today's start. So I don't know, the shelter's full. No real need to stay there if I've still got legs left. Yeah, I'll just push until I feel like setting up camp. There's no shelter space, and I'm just resigned to the fact that I'll have to camp in the snow, which I've done it many, many years ago in Scouts, 30 plus years ago, so I'm not afraid of it. Just gotta try to keep stuff as dry as you can. Okay. Well, it's Tuesday, March 15th, and calling for rain last night and snow mix, but it just snowed. So got a new batch of snow on the ground. I'm at the shelter here with about 8 other guys and a ridge runner. One guy had a problem this morning. Came in to the shelter. We were all cooking at the little table there, and he just basically passed out right in front of me. I grabbed him. I seen him. Kind of his head flopped over and his eyes rolled back, and he just went down to the ground. I caught him, sat him up, make sure his tongue was not rolling back in his throat, and he came to about not even a minute later. We're not really sure what happened, but I think that he went low on electrolytes. So we're helping him pack up his stuff now. He gave him electrolytes, gave him some food, and there's a Forest Service road a little over a mile back down the trail, but it's about a 6 or 7 mile hike back from the road to highway. And I think a lot of the guys are going back and try to hitch a ride into Franklin from that highway, because it's just, the conditions out here are pretty bad. It's wet and pretty cold. So I'm not sure. I'm not decided what I'm doing yet. Well, I'll know here in a minute. We're just making sure this guy's okay. I know there's a group of 4 or 5 going down, so they're going to make sure he gets down the road okay. He's feeling okay now. We got him laid up, and we're packing up his tent and stuff for him. We're going to carry some of his stuff down. Alright, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we got the guy stable, and got electrolytes into him, food into him. He had some really soaking wet clothes, which we're all packing out part of his stuff. I've got his wet clothes. Another guy's got his tent, and a couple other people. We've got about 6 people. There was a ridge runner up at camp, and we all decided to get this guy into town for medical help, or at least to get him out of the weather. There's a forest road about a mile down, so we're actually going backtracking southbound. Then we've got about a 6-7 mile hike to a highway. That forest road a mile down is closed, at least till April, so there won't be anybody on that road. Actually, about 6 people from the camp are going back down to this road and then back down to a highway. A lot of people's gear is wet and they're cold. They were forecasting tonight it's going to be in the teens. The high today is not ever going to get over 30. So we're going to get this guy to safety, and then probably get into town in Franklin and resupply again. See what the weather's going to do. So that's our morning. Late start. Trying to get this guy. He's up and walking now. He's got his pack on. He's walking okay, talking okay. Never had any type issues with seizures or anything like that before, he said. I think he just got low on electrolytes. I was standing right beside him when his eyes rolled back. His head just wobbled over, just kind of flopped over. And I caught him kind of falling down. Got him laid down in the shelter and got, like I said, electrolytes and warm drinking to him. So, alright, that's our morning. We'll be in Franklin hopefully sometime this afternoon.